to start off with a reminder this week that your resume and cover letter assignment are due. Remember to include your job posting if you have chosen your own. The seminar activities this week will be worth 5%. You'll be doing the in-class portion of your interview assignment. In this lecture series, we'll be looking at interview skills, and it really is a skill that you can learn. The key to having a positive interview is preparation. Make sure you take the time required to do this. Research. The internet has made company information easily accessible and readily available. Read their website. What kind of language do they use? What is their mission say? What are their company values? You may also want to read the company policies that they've included. What do they really focus on? Is it sustainability? Is it safety? These answers can help you know what your focus should be when you're answering interview questions. Show them that you are a good fit. Practice, practice, practice. Write down examples you can use, ones that will highlight your skills. Be strategic about what you're going to tell them. We'll talk more about this a little bit later on in the lecture. You'll need to practice out loud though. Don't just read your answers. Ask a friend or a family member to ask you some of the common interview questions. You can find the list in D2L or just Google. There's all kinds of lists out there of common interview questions. We'll also be practicing in lab and seminar this week. Relax or get into the right frame of mind before an interview. Review your notes, take some deep breaths, think positive thoughts, meditate, listen to music, whatever helps you to relax. There's also a great TED Talk video, if you want to watch, on power poses that can really help you get in the right frame of mind for your interview. Make sure you are well-groomed, freshly showered, deodorant on. We do tend to sweat more when we're nervous. Dress professionally. Make sure your clothes are ironed and they don't look like you pulled them out from the bottom of your laundry basket. What to wear is really determined by where you'll be working and where your interview will be taking place. Is it a business setting or more casual? If business attire is not required, you could wear dress pants, dark colored jeans, your best shirt or blouse. Make sure your footwear is also clean and appropriate. You want to make a good overall first impression, so put some effort in. Be calm as you can be going into an interview, and relaxed. They have invited you to the interview for a reason. You clearly had skills on your cover letter and resume that they're looking for. Remember to smile and be positive to everyone you meet. Make sure your handshake is firm. No one likes the dead fish handshake or the hand crusher handshake. Look the person in the eye, smile, grip their hand firmly and confidently, and give it a pump or two and release. You're also going to want to be organized. Make sure you have the directions and a contact name and phone number, just in case something unexpected happens on your way. You'll also want to take some things with you. Copies of your resume, a pen, a notepad. You can even have some stuff written down that you want to make sure you share during the interview. One thing that I would recommend you have written down are questions to ask at the end. You'll also want to bring your references with you. Body language is a huge part of our communication. So we want to make sure that we have positive body language happening. So some of the things I want you to think about. Things to do. Make sure you're thinking positive thoughts before going into an interview. It really does come through in your body language. Tell yourself things like, I'm going to rock this interview. I'm going to have the answers to all of their questions. I'm going to connect with the interviewer or interviewers. Once you're asked to take a seat, make sure that you sit up straight or lean forward just a little bit to show them that you're interested. Try and mirror the interviewer, unless of course they're slouched back and their legs are crossed or their arms are crossed. It's okay to use gestures. If you speak with your hands normally, then it can be it's a definite part of your communication style, and it's still okay to do in an interview. Keep good eye contact, and remember, smile. On the opposite side of that, you're going to want to make sure that you aren't slouched down and look like you're not motivated or interested. Folding your arms can also appear that you're closed off. Try not to fidget. Sometimes it's easier when you have something in your hands as well. Make sure you're paying attention. Listen to the questions that they're asking. Ask for clarification if you need to. Don't look down to the floor or up to the ceiling the whole time you're answering. So there are a few types of different interviews that you might come across. There's the screening. It's usually that initial screening interview that takes place over the phone. They ask a few questions to determine if you will move on to the next stage in their hiring process. There's an informal or formal style of interview, and it really depends on the employer's personal style. For instance, they might just ask you questions based on your resume, or they could ask you from a list of questions. Directive interviews are much more formal. There is a specific list of questions that they follow, and it's really so that they can ensure consistency when comparing their candidates. It usually has a scoring system attached to it, and there could be a panel of interviewers from 2 to 5. This type of interview will be very structured and standardized. Sometimes it's a purely behavioral or situational interview, or some of those questions can be asked in the other types of interviews as well. In this style, they're trying to determine how you will act in a certain situation by asking about your past behavior. It is a good predictor of how you will respond in the future. For example, they may ask a question like, tell me about a time you were in a conflict with a coworker. What did you do, and what was the outcome? Make sure you use real-life examples. Don't just speak in general terms. Be specific about how you handled the situation. A follow-up interview could potentially be a second interview, like a face-to-face interview. They usually want to confirm you're still interested and also ensure that they are making a good hiring decision. Maybe they're debating between two people. A job offer could also be included in this type of interview. When called and asked to come in for a second interview, you're going to prepare again. Review their website, review your strengths, think about how you'll be a good fit, and you'll want to emphasize that when you do go in and speak with them. You can also take this time to ask them some questions. Still stay away from some of those questions like, how many sick days do I get? What are the benefits like? Those kinds of things until you have a job offer on the table. Be prepared to be asked about a salary, and you may need to negotiate that, so do some research. Find out what the going rate is. You may not have to worry about this at all if the job posting stated what the wage is. You really kind of need to be prepared for anything. The employer may just want you to come in and relax with them and they can get to know you a little bit better, or they may have some concerns about you and they're going to provide you a chance to really calm those. You may be invited to a virtual interview, so typically Skype. These may take place due to logistics. It could be geographic distance, or it could just be more convenient for the employer. Treat these with the same kind of preparation as a face-to-face interview. There are a few extra things to consider though. You need to ensure your technology is working, your internet is high speed, and make sure you know how to use the technology. You'll need a quiet space. You'll also need to consider what's behind you. What is it that they're going to see? Is it clean and professional? Is there a mirror that can be seen? What is it reflecting? I also want to mention that there is an office space available for virtual interviews in the Career Services office at the college, and you can speak with Marie in Career Services to get that set up.